Yeah, thank you, my lady, the Chief Justice. My lady, in my 10 minutes, allow me to, first of all, lay a background on the importance of the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution. And my lady, I will lay that background by explaining it from the context of Article 1.3 of the Constitution. In Article 1.3 of the Constitution, sovereign power is delegated to Parliament. It is not at this very stage mentioned that sovereign power is delegated exclusively to the National Assembly or exclusively to the Senate. This sovereign power is delegated to Parliament, and Parliament, by the same Constitution, comprises the Senate and the National Assembly. The end product of a bill that is introduced in Article 110 of the Constitution is an act of Parliament. So it is important that we mention that. And then secondly, if you look at the way this Constitution has been designed, this Constitution has a structure. The structure of the Constitution is based on the doctrine of separation of powers. But within, if you break down the doctrine of separation of powers, you will find that in the legislative arm, the two arms of Parliament, the two houses of Parliament, at the end of the day, undertake in the context of monotasking and monocropping of functions. They undertake distinct functions which the Constitution decides each house to undertake from a linear and sequential perspective. So in terms of the concept of the introduction of a bill in Parliament, Article 110 of the Constitution comprises what I call a vector clause. It is a clause that informs the exercise of legislative power by the two houses of Parliament. This clause is the bedrock of the exercise of this legislative power. So where there is a violation of this vector clause, this bedrock clause, then the entire product that comes out of that is unconstitutional. So, my lady, the Chief Justice, you will notice that Article 110 is express, clear, and unequivocal. 110.3. It says that before a house considers a bill, the speakers of the National Assembly and the speakers of the Senate shall jointly resolve any question as to whether it is a bill concerning counties and whether it's a special bill or an ordinary bill. This clause is extremely important because it confers the two speakers with an ex-ante administrative power derived from the Constitution, a power which must be exercised by the two speakers. And the reason why this is important is because of the centrality of the functions of the Senate in accordance with the provisions of Article 96 of the Constitution. My lady, your predecessor, the Honorable Mutunga, in the advisory opinion of 2 of 2013, laid down the basis of the centrality of the devolved government system. The Senate specifically exists to protect the four corners of the devolved government system. That is why in Article 110, there is that clause which talks about a bill affecting the functions and powers of county governments as set out in the 4th schedule. What it means is that the two speakers, then ought to be guided by the provisions of Article 186 of the Constitution. Article 186 contains the functional assignment architecture with respect to the two levels of government on functions. And they make reference to the fourth schedule. And my lady, it may well be that a bill, most of these bills don't concern counties. It may well be that a bill can contain clauses that dominantly affect counties, and in some cases, they outrightly contain clauses which don't affect counties. Sometimes a bill may contain clauses that affect both the functions of national government and the functions of county governments. So that question ought to be determined. The two speakers are required by the provisions of Article 110(3) to sit down, and they can develop guidelines, they can enact a legislation to guide them on how they exercise their power with the singular objective of protecting the functional assignment autonomy of county governments, which is the intention of the provisions of Article 110, especially when the Article 110 says that a bill concerning county government is a bill which touches on the functions of those county governments. So that is the rationale, the reasons, the basis of why you have Article 110, paragraph 3 of the Constitution. Now, what is the effect? What is the effect? Because the National Assembly in this dispute is